Okay. Alrighty. Cancel. Hey guys, can you hear me? Hey again, Mark. Hey guys. All right. Can you hear me? Hey again, Mark. Ah, Kazakhstan. Very cool. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys are with us today. We were having a couple technical issues, but I think they're all worked out. So my name is Paige Keen, and you guys are watching this because you're interested in italki. Can you hear me? All right. Okay. 1 second. All right. Cool. So I am a teacher on italki. Hello. Hello from Spain. Awesome. So I am from Atlanta, Georgia in the United States. Do you guys know where that is? We got someone from Brazil, Alan. Yeah. So I'm from the southern part of the United States, and I'll just introduce myself a little bit. Hey, Janos. We should have a lot of Brazilians here today. So I'm from the southern part of the United States, and I'll just introduce myself a little bit. Hey, Janos. I'm probably going to butcher all of your names, just so you know. But I am an English teacher, and I'm also an actor from the United States, and I've been working on italki since last October. I've also been taking lessons on italki just like you guys. I take Russian lessons a couple times a week. Ah, we got some people from Germany. Very cool. Yeah. So I know what it's like as a student and as a teacher. I got someone from Korea. You love social media. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are commenting because today we're going to have a 30-minute lesson. Hello from Taiwan. And it's going to be similar to the kind of lesson that you'll have on italki, but it'll be a little different because normally in your first lesson, I'll be able to hear you and see you. And on here, all I can do is see your comments. So I'm going to try to. Why would an American girl want to learn Russian? You know, I really just love the Russian language. I don't really have a good answer to that question. I started learning Russian when I was 17. And I love you guys' culture. I love the food. Algeria, very cool. Yeah. So today will be kind of an example of a free talk lesson, which will be similar to your first lesson on italki. My name is Paige. I'm sorry about that. My name is Paige Keen. So Fatma is from Algeria and she moved to the UK, and that's why she needs to learn English. So why do you guys need to learn English? Let's get some comments about that. So Fatma is from Algeria and she moved to the UK, and that's why she needs to learn English. So, why do you guys need to learn English? Let's get some comments about that. For work? Mm-hmm. Do some of you guys need some test preparation for work? Mm, to communicate with the world? Ah, the TOEFL? Uh-huh. Do some of you guys need some test preparation for work? Mm-hmm. Survival skills. To communicate with the world? Is that like survival skills when you're traveling? Study abroad? Hola. Uh-huh. Where are you studying abroad? Blog posts? Mm-hmm. Oh, Sri Lanka. Uh-huh. Yeah. And how long have you guys been studying English? Have you been studying for many years or have you just started recently? Two years. Good. 13 years. Wow. So maybe you started when you were in school? Mm-hmm. Ooh, learning Chinese too. I don't have a southern accent because I'm an actor. Mm-hmm. But I can have a southern accent if you want to hear it. The language is wonderful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Always learning. You never stop learning English. Actually, I'm always learning new words too, like when I read books. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did any of you guys like your elementary school education? 17 years. Uh-huh. Yeah. I it's still difficult to speak probably because maybe you haven't had a lot of practice speaking with a native speaker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I took classes, I took Russian classes when I was at university too. But I learned a few things, like I learned some grammar, but I still couldn't speak for a really long time, which is actually why I got on italki. So I was actually on italki before I became a teacher. So I was a student on italki. And then I got my certification to be an English teacher. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you learn Arabic and French and English. So who here thinks they speak the most languages? Does anyone here speak 5 languages? My name is Paige Keene, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. For those of you who did not get that, 7 languages? Wow, that's really impressive. 3, 4, yeah. English and Chinese and Vietnamese. Nice to meet you too. Yeah, I used to learn Spanish when I was in high school. Ah, uh-huh, 4 languages. Slavonic. Hmm. Yeah, because many of you may know, but in America, the number one language. Ah, sorry about that. I hear that I'm breathing too loudly. So in America, it's really common to learn Spanish because we live so close to Mexico and we have a lot of immigrants that speak Spanish. But we also, it's very common to learn Latin and French. Of course, most people don't learn languages very well in school. Did anyone here learn languages well in school? Thai and English. Latin. Yeah, we learn Latin because it helps you actually with your English. A lot of high level English words, you can know what they are if you know Latin. How can you improve your English? This is a good question. So, Do you already have a private tutor? A lot of people, I like to read polyglot blogs and I like to read what they do. Um, and a lot of polyglots will say, that 10 hours in a language class, like a normal language class, is equal to like 1 hour one-on-one. So if you really want to improve, you need to get a one-on-one teacher. And you can find teachers or tutors. And on italki, yeah, watching movies is good too. In fact, how about you guys go ahead and comment, what do you do to learn English? What helps you learn? Uh-huh. Um, but yeah, you need someone to give you feedback on your speaking. You need to be speaking and listening as much as you can. So the only way to get better at speaking is to speak, really. I remember I used to learn Russian at university, but when I actually went to Russia, I couldn't really speak very well because I just knew like the theory of the language. I hadn't actually used it. So one-to-one conversation, yep, Maida. Mm-hmm. Speaking and speaking. Friends, yes, friends. Ask them to correct you. You need corrections. That's the thing. And on italki, what I do, and what most teachers do, is we'll write your corrections in the chat box. And you can also record your lessons. I record my lessons and I listen back to them. You need to make sure that you review everything that you learn. If you don't repeat it, then you will not remember it. To improve your accent, I would get in touch with a someone who says they do accent reduction. If that's not their main if that's not the main thing that they teach, you need to find someone who teaches accent reduction, um, because they specialize in helping you with your accent. Other teachers like me, like we can give you exercises to do. Um, it's really good to record yourself speaking after a native speaker. Like so, a little piece of audio with someone with a native speaker speaking, and then you repeat it after them, and you record all of that so you can hear the difference between your voice and someone else's voice. That's what I did with Russian. A lot of imitation, a lot of imitation. Accent reduction is just a fancy word for getting rid of your accent and sounding like a native speaker. Yeah. The best way to start is to go ahead and find like language partners on italki. Those are actually also free. Go ahead and find some friends that you like. Go ahead and get a teacher. Find a teacher that you like. It might take a few trial classes before you find a teacher that you like. Um, uh-huh. IELTS. Uh-huh. You want to find an IELTS teacher. And they do have them on italki. My teacher name is Paige Keen. I'm not currently accepting new students, so unfortunately, yeah, yeah. Listening to music is good. I listen to podcasts every day. Um, Basically, my favorite polyglot blog is Luca Lampariello. I don't know if you know him, if you've heard of him. He has a lot of good techniques for improving um, all areas of your language learning. So someone said they wanted to practice listening. What I do with listening is I find a short piece of audio, about 2 minutes to 5 minutes, but usually like 2 minutes or even 1 minute. And I listen to it 3 times without looking at the words. And then I will look up the words, each individual word, all the words that I didn't know, and I will learn them. And then and then I'll listen again, and then I'll say everything that I heard without looking. So then you can say everything that you hear. Luca Lampariello. Let me make sure that I'm saying it right. Yeah, Luca Lampariello. He's an Italian polyglot. He's my favorite. There's a lot of good ones. Benny Lewis is famous on italki because he really promotes italki. Benny Lewis is the reason that I found out about italki, actually, from reading his blog. But yeah, Luca Lampariello. hmm I'm not sure if it's called shadowing. It could be. Luca also talks about, yeah, there you go. Luca also talks about translation, which is something that I'm going to start doing. You translate, yeah, from English into the mother tongue. Very good, Assam. And then he translates it back from um, your mother tongue into English, if that makes sense. I only speak two languages because, I mean, yeah, there you go, the polyglot dream. I would love to learn a lot of other languages, but I don't currently have the time. I think it's only important to learn English first if you need to learn English first. I think you should learn whatever language you want to learn the most first. Я понимаю. Yeah. Cool, cool. All right. And have any of you guys been to an English speaking country? I do. I do yoga and I play guitar. Uh-huh. And which country did you go to? I know Fatma, I think you said you went to the UK. Was that hard when you were meeting people in real life? I can teach anyone. The teachers on italki can teach anyone because we teach immersion classes, which means that the entire class is in English. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you want it to be in English. If you're learning English, you want it to be completely in English. Because I used to take Russian classes um, that were not in the target language. They were in English, which I don't need. Like, and it was a complete waste of time. When I got to Russia, had such a hard time because my classes were not completely in Russian. So I dropped that teacher and I found a teacher on italki. I actually have four teachers on italki for different reasons. And Slovakia. Uh-huh. Yeah. So you want it to be completely in the language. All right. Has anyone here had like an English speaking boyfriend or girlfriend? Just as a funny question. You can't upload your video. Huh. If you can't upload your video, like if you want to be an italki teacher, which any of you guys can be, then you want to talk to the italki support team. Let them know that you're having a problem. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. When your husband speaks it, do you make him speak English with you? And promise, why do you never speak with native speakers? Is it hard to find language partners? Canadian, Irish, Australian. Wow, you must be really good with all the accents, Maida. hmm If you're a beginner, if you're an absolute beginner, then you may need the L1 unless you have found like a special immersion course for A1, like for A level students. Mm. It troubles you. Does that mean like it's difficult to talk when you're speaking in English? Hey, Denise. Um, I'm streaming with the help of a couple really smart people that are making this possible. They taught me how to do this. Yeah. Oh, you can't find someone to talk to. Well, that's when you might want to get a teacher because then you have someone to talk to when you have a teacher. Mm-hmm. Ah, uh-huh. So when you came back to Brazil, maybe it was difficult. Sometimes you're stuck with your sentences. What does that mean? Ah, a native Russian speaker. That's awesome. Yeah, on Italki, I think it is common to have many Brazilians. Most of my students are Brazilian or Russian, but I think there's pretty much people from everywhere. Yeah, to improve listening, I mentioned this before. There's a listening technique that Benny Lewis has where you listen to a short piece of audio 3 times, and then you look up the new words, and then you listen again, and then you say everything that you heard without looking at the text. So that trains your ear to like listen. Mm-hmm. Ah, yeah. I think when you don't feel confident, you just have to keep going, you know? Um, and try to find a teacher or a language partner and just keep going because you're not going to feel confident unless you just do confidence, you know? The action of confidence comes before the feeling of confidence. So you just have to do what confident people do before you're going to feel confident. Uh-huh. Yeah. Um, so Russian, I learned Russian just because I came across a YouTube video of someone speaking Russian and I thought it was the most beautiful language I'd ever heard, and I decided to learn it just then and there. There's no good reason. I just wanted to learn it. Uh-huh. You listen every day? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you talk every day or do you just listen every day? Like what is slow? Is the talking slow? Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're stuck with your sentences, it sounds like you're just not speaking enough. You know, if you can't think of the language, you know, I think it just sounds like you need someone to speak with a lot. Life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. Yes, it does. I talk to myself. That's actually a good strategy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a good reason to learn a language. It's really motivating because I just love it. Yeah, it's just fun. You have difficulties understanding. Mm-hmm. That's when you want to do the active listening technique I talked about before. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually am not accepting new students, so you'll have to find another teacher, unfortunately. I wish I had time to teach everybody. I can't speak German. I've been to Germany though, and I loved it. It's such a cool country. A lot of German people speak English, I noticed. Mm-hmm. Your German isn't where you want it to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of software developers on italki. A lot of IT people too. Mm. The grammar is really difficult compared to, you know, Spanish or although French I heard is difficult too, and so I don't know. I mean, with the cases, I just suggest like learn the cases by using the cases. Don't just don't just do grammar exercises. It's not going to help you. You have to speak those cases from day one. To become an italki teacher, if you want to be a tutor, you don't need anything. If you want to be a teacher, then you need to get certified. Yeah. My next travel plans, I'm moving to Austin, Texas, which is not really traveling, but I'm moving there for 9 months to do an acting training program. So I guess those are my next travel plans. I wish I could say I was going somewhere cool. I have a twin sister who is in Turkey right now, and she's going to Morocco next. And I'm really jealous of her because I love traveling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For good speaking skills, you just have to speak constantly and learn new vocabulary. You talk to your dog in English? Does he talk back in English? Hmm. How often do I use idioms? I use idioms a lot. I think probably more than other people actually, more than normal people. To practice public speaking, you just have to talk in front of people, right? A tutor, okay, this is a good question. So the difference between a tutor and a teacher is a tutor is not certified, so they could just be a person like a language partner. They could just be a person who will try to give you corrections. They may not know grammar things. They can help you with vocabulary and they can help you with your fluency just as a conversation partner. Some of them are better than others, you know? Um, to get there's no italki certification. There's just a certification that you get outside of italki. Like I got certified from the International TEFL Academy, which is based out of Chicago. Hmm. Yeah, Fatma, I would say start with a teacher. I think you said you didn't have a teacher yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pronunciation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. To be confident in grammar, you need to use it. So when you learn a new grammar concept, you need to use it just a million times. Otherwise, you'll only know it theoretically and not practically. Uh-huh. You understand everything, but answering is not clear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of people can understand really easily because from Morocco, very cool. Maybe you'll see my twin sister. She looks like me. Uh-huh. Vowels change with no rules, like bread, steak. Yeah, pronunciation in English is very confusing compared to how it's spelled. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am planning on moving to LA after Austin. Writing skills, I think for writing skills, you need to just write essays and get someone to correct you, which actually you can do for free on italki. If you write something, native speakers will fix it for you. So you do need to get some feedback. Getting feedback is one of the most important things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fatma, that's completely normal. That's completely normal. Uh-huh. So at first you're not going to understand as much, but you just need to practice, you know, speaking with a native speaker so that you can get used to hearing that. Hmm. To improve your accent, I would find an accent reduction teacher if that's really important. But also you can like practice like repeating after native speakers and recording that so you can hear the difference. Student language at times. Oop, I lost that one. Yeah, my sister's in Istanbul. Uh-huh. She loves it. She loves it. Hey. What do I think of Canadian English? I almost don't even notice Canadian people being different than American. Like I just watched a movie called Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and I didn't notice that they had a different accent at all. I've never been to Canada though. Yeah. Yeah, movies are the hardest, guys. So newspapers and movies, be go easy on yourself. Luca Lampariello likes to look at the subtitles when he's watching a movie, like in the native language, so you can write down the things you don't know. Yeah, a comedy is going to be really hard. Yeah, accent reduction means getting rid of your accent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, movies are a great way. So there's like two different kinds of studying you need to do for language. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're in Istanbul, very cool. Uh-huh. Accent matters if people can't understand you, if they can't understand you. So it's good to watch movies and to listen to podcasts and talk to friends. And it's also good to do some, translation back and forth, to do some like writing and getting feedback, to do some learning new grammar. Yeah, uh-huh, Omar. You can practice with minimal pairs. Have you heard of that? Minimal pairs? And also, so other than that, you will want to find knock knock jokes. You don't understand knock knock jokes? Like knock knock, who's there? Um, oh gosh, I don't even know a knock knock joke. This is terrible. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but hopefully you won't be able to tell where I'm from because I have a standard American accent. Uh-huh. Um, oh, let me look up a knock knock joke. So some of you guys may not know what a knock knock joke is. It's just a stupid joke that we love. Okay, so who's there? So knock knock. Who's there? A broken pencil. A broken pencil who? I don't get that one. Okay, I'm gonna. Um, does anyone know a knock knock joke? Yeah, Felipe, can you share it? Knock knock. Who's there? Mm. My favorite genre, like for TV. My favorite genre. I don't really have a favorite genre. I just love a really good TV show. Um, like what do I like to watch? You know the show Breaking Bad? I loved that show. Um, I went to an acting school, but it was mainly for theater. So I haven't been to a film school. Ooh, my favorite actor. Um, it might be Matthew McConaughey. He's so good. You want me to do a redneck accent? So some of you guys, yeah, Breaking Bad, um, might not know that a redneck is like a really southern person who's usually not intelligent. Dozen who? Does anyone want to let me in? Good. Knock knock. Who's there? A dozen. A dozen who? Uh-huh. Ooh, Black Mirror. That's really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So, what's another TV show that I've been watching? Uh-huh. You're watching Breaking Bad? Mm-hmm. That's good. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Better Call Saul. That's like a spin-off. Oh, sorry, back to rednecks. So a redneck is like a really country person, and they talk like this. Oh, a British accent is really different. Like, I can attempt to do a British accent, but it might not sound very good. This is my attempt. 13 Reasons Why. I just watched the first episode of that the other day. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love Southern accents. Yeah, me too. Uh-huh. Rednecks are like, "Dur, dur, 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 dur." They sort of sound like that. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't someone who studied in Europe be able to go to LA? LA is full of people from other countries, like transplants, we say. I've never seen Prison Break. One of my students really likes that show. Hmm. You do pay for teachers, guys. You do pay for italki teachers. You don't pay for the language partners. I teach languages because I needed like a flexible job after I graduated because I'm an actor. And I always loved learning languages and I love foreign people. So it was just a really good fit. It was just a really fun job that I can do anywhere. Koshri? What is that? Mm-hmm. Ah, season one. Was that from yeah, language partners. Okay. So language partners are just like friends that you find on italki. So you can search for just friends, just language partners. You send them a friend request, and then you say, "Hey, this is a little bit about me. I have these hobbies. Like, I like to play guitar and I like to sing and I'd like to learn Russian. Can you teach me, can you teach me Russian and I'll teach you English?" So basically, you try to find someone, that you can meet at a good time. For me, I don't have a lot of time, so I like to just find a teacher because it's a lot easier to fit a teacher into your schedule. I started learning languages when I was in kindergarten because I was learning Spanish. Oh man, what? I'm scared of what that word actually is. My name is Paige Keen, Iraida. Sorry if I said your name horribly. I've never been to Brazil. I would love to go though. I hear the food's really good. How about you guys tell me what is the best dish from your country? What is the best dish from your country? Hmm. You can find my profile on italki. I don't have any time for new students, so I'm not accepting new students, but there's lots of other awesome teachers for you to take lessons with. I do sing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Felipe, someone asked me to say a word in their language, which I probably shouldn't have done because maybe it's a swear word, I don't know. I decided to be a teacher on italki because it is a dish. Oh, good. Yay. I'm glad that was a good thing. On italki because I was taking classes on italki. Mm-hmm. Feijoada? Fe I can't remember Brazilian pronunciation. Feijoada? Apple pie? Are you from America? Uh-huh. Buchada? Stinky tofu. That does not sound good, but I'll take your word for it. Barbecue. Hmm. Tacos. I bet they're really good. I'm going to Austin, Texas, so I'll be close to Mexico soon. Yeah. Feijoada? Yeah. I know that Rio is actually Rio, so I wasn't sure about the pronunciation. Cool. Batlan? Oh, I'll try to say the name of the person I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll have to try that. Yeah, I have a Brazilian friend that's from Rio, and he says that the drinks in Rio are really good. They're a lot better than the drinks in America. Yeah. Mm. Houston, I don't think it's near Austin. I don't think any city is near another city in Texas. It's such a big, big country. Mm. Yeah, so do you guys, how about we'll take a poll? Who here likes British accents more than American accents? Pilaf. Mm-hmm. Couscous, yum. Mm-hmm. Oh, very nice. Oh, you used to live in Austin. I can't speak Arabic. My sister actually speaks Arabic. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. So, who here is interested in taking a one-on-one lesson on italki? 4 hours from Austin. Do you guys have any questions about finding a teacher on italki? Yeah, if you like my accent, you should find some Southern Americans, some Americans from Atlanta. hmm What's your question about finding a teacher? Oh, good, Douglas. I'm glad. It's expensive? I think italki is actually a lot cheaper than a lot of. It's definitely the cheapest I've ever found. hmm Yeah, it depends on the teacher. If it costs too much, you can always find a tutor. Tutors are usually less expensive. To learn the American accent, I would just make sure that you just listen to American movies and you just take classes from American teachers. hmm Oh, you want feedback on your writing? Um, I don't think most teachers specialize in feedback on writing, but if you post in the forum, people will give you feedback on your writing for free. Yeah. Ah, it's expensive for Egyptians. That could be true. Uh-huh. Yeah. So, yeah, so basically, for one-on-one classes, you will want to book a trial lesson, which means your first lesson. You book the trial lesson, and it's usually cheaper than their other lessons, and you get to just talk with the teacher. Basically, you do what we're doing now, except that I would be able to hear you and see you. And then you tell the teacher like what kind of classes you want to have. Like, do you want to have grammar classes? Do you want to have, do you just want to talk? Like, this is free talk. So sometimes you'll just have a free talk class, and then sometimes you'll have a free talk with a topic, which means that you'll talk about like a certain topic, like maybe global warming or exercise or, your daily routine. Mm. If it's just conversation and you don't get any feedback, that's not good. You need feedback. So find a teacher who will give you feedback. Italki, they have TOEFL teachers. Like, I think they have test preparation teachers. I would find a test prep teacher though. If you can't find one on italki, I would Google it. But I think on italki there are TOEFL test prep teachers. Yeah. I just teach English. I'm learning Russian, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cambridge. Yeah. Thank you, Maida. Yeah. But not in the writing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think you just want to practice writing. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions for me? I might show you an example of a class that I had, just so you can see it. So basically, this is an example of Dobry wieczór. Um, this is an example of the kind of lesson you might have. So my teacher sent me a video, and I watched the video. And here you can see that she has the vocabulary for me. It's in English and in Russian. And then there's an article. Whoop, 1 second. There's an article beneath that I read several times and that we discussed. So that's an example of a lesson you might have. This is good if you have a test to practice finding new words and discussing and using those words. I've traveled around the US. Uh-huh. Yeah. I won't be live again tomorrow. This is just for today. Yeah. So if you guys look at the pinned comments, you can find the teachers that will get you where you want to go with your English learning. So check out these pinned links to get started. Mm-hmm. All right. Do you guys have any more questions to me before I sign off? I've already graduated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear Vietnam's a beautiful country. My classes are, just so you can get an idea of about how much they cost. I think it's $15 an hour if you get the package. Packages are cheaper than individual classes. So a package just means you're paying for like 5 classes. You're committing to 5 classes. You pay for the class once the class is over. Um, so 15 an hour or 16 an hour. And then I have like another more expensive option where I read through the notes for them and I give like extra feedback on top of the feedback that I give in the chat box. I don't want to sign off either. It's nice to meet you guys. Okay. I graduated with a BFA in acting from college. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to be off. I'm not sure when I'll be live again, but this video will be available for you guys if you want to watch it again. All right, but it was nice to meet you guys, and I will see you later.